For a moment, I want you to think about what it's actually costing you to not start a business today. Maybe it's working a 9 to 5 and not being able to pick your kids up from school. Maybe it's being in a line of work that is completely devoid of meaning for you. Or maybe it's not having the financial freedom that you desire so that you can take your family on an incredible vacation or give more to those in need. Whatever it is, I want you to think about what that cost is for you. Because while yes, there may be a cost to starting a business, there is also a cost to not starting a business. Now that you have that cost in mind, let's talk about what's really holding you back. Because as a business coach for Christian women, there are 3 main myths that I see holding Christian women back every day from building profitable, sustainable businesses that bring in meaningful income for their families. And today we are going to demolish all 3 of those myths so that you can move forward, so that you can finally give yourself the permission to start and believe that this really is possible for you. The first myth I see holding women back is that you think you have to have everything figured out before you start. If that thought comes to mind anytime you think of starting a business, let's just put that to rest right now, because no one has it all figured out before they start. In fact, pivoting as you go is how all businesses grow. And I know this because I have built 4 of them over the last 14 years of being an entrepreneur. And that's exactly how I have grown my businesses, is pivoting as I go. So even if you spend months perfecting your strategy, it's going to change as you grow anyway. And while you are sitting around planning, someone less intelligent and less talented than you is already making money because they started. One of my favorite quotes in business is, "Action takers are moneymakers." So when you are just paralyzed by fear and not wanting to take action, remember those 5 words. Action takers are moneymakers. That is how you move the needle in your business. It's by taking action and getting started. You learn faster by doing something, anything, than you do by sitting back and planning for 6 months, period. I have watched women in my mastermind group who spend months perfecting their offer while other women are just launching, even if it's messy, getting that feedback, and then pivoting into something that really works. And those women who are taking action, they are the ones who are scaling the fastest. So I encourage you to take the leap. Getting started might be the hardest part for you, but once you take that step, you have no idea what God could do in and through your business. You don't need perfection, you need feedback, and you only get feedback by starting. The second myth many Christian women are believing is that success means sacrifice, that there's this trade-off. Either you can build a successful business or you can put your family first. But that is just absolutely backwards. If you do it right, you can build a sustainable business that protects your family's financial freedom, that actually gives you more time with your kids, and it doesn't take away from anything that you are trying to do pouring into your family. It actually adds to it. Building your own business gives you the freedom to set your own schedule and decide what matters most to you. While many women think you need 40 to 60 hours a week to build a real business with meaningful income, really it only takes about 20 hours of focused work every week to build something real that can bring your family financial freedom and time freedom. And I know this because I have built 4 businesses over the last 14 years, and I have almost never worked over 20 hours a week. And that's the goal that I have for my clients as well. God didn't design you to have to choose between using the gifts that He's given you to build a business and being present at your kids' soccer games. Those are not opposing forces. When you work with the right strategy, you can spend a few hours a week pouring into your business, doing the things that really move the needle and bring in that income, and then spend the rest of your time on what matters most to you, your family, your friends, and your faith. The third myth is believing that you are not qualified enough, that you need some extra credentials or maybe 5 more years of experience, that your experience isn't enough. But God specializes in using the unlikely, the fearful, the unqualified. Moses didn't feel qualified either. In fact, he had every excuse in the book not to obey God. But God did not go ask him to go get more qualified. He asked him to obey and trust him. And that's what he's asking us to do as well. When a plane takes off, the hardest part isn't the flight itself. It's getting off the runway. That's when it uses the most fuel. That's when its engines are running at full power, trying to get this heavy plane off the ground. But after liftoff, it eventually reaches the cruising altitude, and that's when everything changes. When the ride gets smoother and when it can continue to move forward without using as much energy. And that's exactly what it's like starting a business. The beginning is the hardest part. There are so many unknowns, so much resistance, and so many times where you wonder, is this thing ever going to work? But if you can just make it through the takeoff phase, just get your plane in the air, you will eventually reach that cruising altitude where you get to reap all the rewards of being an entrepreneur and running a successful, sustainable business that has reached that cruising altitude. So remember, you don't need to wait until everything's perfect. You don't need a degree or 5 more years of experience. You just need to take that step and start. That's it. Remember the cost of not starting today. If God has placed that idea of starting a business in your heart, every day that you wait, it is costing you something. And you don't have to build this alone. I actually help Christian women entrepreneurs build and scale their businesses every single day, and I would absolutely love to partner with you. I actually offer free discovery calls. There is an application for those discovery calls that I will link to in the description of this video. And on those calls, we can dream together, brainstorm together, and then figure out if one-on-one coaching might be a good fit for you and your business. I absolutely love to partner with women and help them make sure that they have an action plan so they know exactly what to work on every single week that is going to move the needle in their business. If this episode brought you clarity and encouragement, I would love for you to subscribe so that we can meet back here again next week to grow and scale your business together.